Hi, I'm Kathy Benner of the Happy House Hunters, and this month we are talking about filling our real estate investments, filling our houses that we have to rent. First of all, I want to share with you that we're going through a 6 series in the Happy House Hunters group. We are talking about finding the real estate, funding the real estate, then we're talking about fixing it, flipping it, filling it, and finally, what is your freedom number? So for this month, we are talking about filling. The first thing that I do in filling my real estate is that I make sure that I have written right into the lease where my current tenant is living, that as soon as they give me a notice that they're going to be moving, that I can actually do an open house and show their space right away. Oftentimes, I will have an open house and I will show their space before they even move out, and I'll have it rented before they move out. Then all I need, because especially I get to go in during the open house and look around as well, I also can schedule any repairs that need done. I can see what needs maybe some attention before another tenant moves in, and I can even have that scheduled and on the books ready to go. And a lot of times I'll fill a property with just a weekend in between. I have a paint crew, I have an HVAC guy, I have a roof guy, I have carpet cleaning guys, I even have carpet install guys if I need new carpet. So I make that happen rather quickly. Now, if this is a new purchase and you're just now rehabbing it, of course, you know everything's ready to go before you put it out there to rent. And I do the same format. So it starts with coming up with an open house. Now, before I do that, I actually have gone to my cell phone store. Doesn't matter what provider that you have. They will allow you to have a second line or a second number, or if you have to, even a second phone, but get a separate phone number, separate from your cell phone number, that you're just going to use to advertise your rental properties. And so I simply have added, I'm with Verizon, and I simply have added a second number on my Verizon cell phone that I can put in all my advertisements. That way, when I'm doing an open house, I can even do a recording, a greeting, if you will, on that number that gives the information. It's the questions everybody asks over and over. How many bedrooms is it? And when's it going to be available? And how much is it going to be once it's ready to rent? So I put all of that information into a greeting. And when someone calls that number, they get all the information. Because you know as well as I do, if you're searching on Craigslist for something, by the time you make some phone calls, you don't remember which ad you looked at and which one has which information, which is why folks ask the same questions over and over. So get that phone number lined up and ready to go. And then when you are ready, create your ad. I like to create my ad on Craigslist because it has a place where I can include pictures, I can include the open house, I can include the details. It has a map of where the property is located. And then I can copy and paste that link over into my website. I can put it across social media showing that I've got a property available. I can put it on Zillow, I can put it on Trulia, I can put it on rentals.com. Those are my 5 big ones. But I start with Craigslist because that's the easy place to actually make the ad. Then don't forget, put a sign in the yard. I would think that most of my tenants have found me because of the sign in the yard instead of any of the ads. But again, in the sign, I just put the phone number on there. I might put, 3-bedroom and what the rent is, but then the phone number. And when they call the phone number, it gives them all of the details. Here's when the open house is going to be. If there's tenants still living in the house, I'd make a note not to bother current tenants, that sort of thing. So the next thing is now you're ready for the open house. So once you get to that date, and I try to choose a time between around 2 in the afternoon to around 4 on a Saturday. And the reason is a majority of your folks are not working on Saturdays at all. So coming between 2 and 4 will work. If folks are working and they have to work Saturdays, they might work until 3. So they would still have until 4 to get there. And some folks go in at 3 so they could go on their way to work. So that way you catch just about everyone that is interested in renting your unit. The next thing is I have applications available either online on my website, which I put into all of my messaging along the way so they know they can apply online if they want, or I'll have applications available at the open house. Now, I don't charge an application fee because I want folks to actually apply. So and a lot of them will think, well, let's think about it, or let's look at some others. And you might actually lose some good tenants there simply because they're going to look at several properties. And so it just gets lost in the mix. So what I do is I just say no application fee. And I get tons of folks that apply either online or at the actual open house. Now, create a written tenant screening process. And the reason this is important is that you have to treat every single prospective tenant exactly the same. So if you have a checklist of what you're looking for and the screening process that you go through, you're going to do the same exact process on every single tenant. Now, in some states, it is required that you have to take the applicants in the order that they are received. And as soon as an applicant meets all of your points on your screening, you have to give your unit to that tenant. In other words, you can't collect, let's say, 10 applicants and you put them all in a big pile and you decide which one is the best. Whoever makes the most money, drives the nicest car, has the best background, that's the one you're going to offer it to. Now, in a perfect world, that would be wonderful. But again, you have to stick with your tenant screening process. And in a lot of states, you have to pick the first one that meets the criteria. So double check your state, make sure that when you're filling your units that you don't that you don't just put them all in a big pile and pick the best. I know that sounds great, but just make sure you do it the right way. Anyway, thank you for joining us today about filling your apartment units or your rental, single family, duplexes, whatever you have. Be sure that you connect with us. We're hoping to be live again next month. We normally meet at Gresso's on the second Tuesday of every month. Upstairs, they have a little party room up there at 6 o'clock on a Tuesday evening. And so we're coming to you tonight on this recording because, of course, the restaurants aren't open yet with everything that's going on with the COVID-19. So please stay tuned. Follow us on Happy House Hunters on Facebook. Or just contact me. You can reach me through www.kathybenner.com and just stay connected. And we would love to see you at our next meetup. So enjoy. Thank you.